Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So, I have a set course of things I'd like to talk about today. So first off, I'm just gonna start by putting the display that I can see myself on back because I've been told that sometimes I don't look at the camera. But anywho, so today's video is going to be a little bit like my journal episode I uploaded last time, just kind of like things that are going on in my life, things I want to talk about, and maybe some lessons that I have learned and morals that I have seen or experienced that I think I should share with you guys, and also just really cool stuff that I think you guys should do as well. So first off, my first topic is obviously New Year's resolution. I haven't really made a New Year video talking about 2019 or like goals or New Year's resolutions. Now personally, I think that the idea of like a New Year's resolution, like basically like setting out goals to accomplish in the new year just because it is the new year, I think those are a little bit dumb just for the sole purpose that everybody sets them and then usually never accomplishes them anyways, just because there's so much pressure and you can't really force habits. Like, you can't really force going to the gym every single day. Like, you can try going cold turkey, but 95% of the time it's not going to work out. So I try to do more of like a realistic thing where you slowly ease into that sort of game plan, that sort of routine, rather than just trying to go straight up, because it's healthier that way and there's a bigger percentage of you being able to actually retain that habit. Now this isn't based off of like scientific methods or whatever, it's just based off of my intuition and things that have happened with other people who I consider at least the average person, or the way that their routines are made is the way that an average person would go about doing that. So first off, some things I want to incorporate into my life are eating better, consuming less sugar, which kind of goes with eating better, doing more exercise, and just getting more active. Now, I have been kind of doing that, but I just want to go for more runs, making them maybe shorter, but more of the runs that way, instead of having to do one 5K run every single month or every 2 weeks, doing something like two kilometer runs like maybe twice a week, just because then I get 4 kilometers each week, which is really good, and 2 kilometers isn't too stressful, so that kind of helps with that. Another thing I want to do is just drink more water, because water is really good for you. It's obviously like one of the most basic things that your body needs, along with like oxygen and food and all that type of stuff. So water is obviously extremely important. And I'm trying to think of something else that I wrote down today in my journal. Shoot, I can't remember. But anyways, basically, I want to change myself for the better in 2019, but rather than just going straight up cold turkey, slowly adapting and incorporating these resolutions of sorts into my everyday life. So that's the first thing. Second off, I have a new jacket. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab it. Now, I probably should have planned ahead of this, but so this right here is a jacket. I sat on it from American Eagle. Now, obviously, I don't really like the whole thing of fast fashion, but every now and then, I think it's healthy to binge, or to like not like break a habit, but I mean in this habit, maybe this is a guilty pleasure, but American Eagle clothes are, in my opinion, some really nice clothes that kind of go a little overlooked just because they have a lot of like stigmas behind them. Obviously, it is a part of fast fashion, and I'm not proud of that, but they make really nice clothes and they're really comfortable. Like this jacket, which is made of, I believe this is like a fleecy material, and on the inside is more like a mesh, so it's kind of breathable, but also really warm at the same time. So I've been wearing this for the past like week. I literally haven't worn anything else on top of my regular t-shirt, so there's that. But this kind of ties into the fact of clothing you should get rid of, and if you guys know who Marie Kondo is, you should look her up, or if you don't know who she is, her name is Marie Kondo, Mariekondo. She is I believe, don't cite me on this, but I believe she's a Japanese woman who basically is very popular for this like sort of cleaning method, which is called the KonMari cleaning method, which has like 4 or 5 steps, which incorporate basically getting rid of stuff that don't spark joy in your life. Like when you sort through basically like you take clothes, you put them in a big pile, you sort through what makes you happy and what doesn't, and the stuff that doesn't make you happy, you either donate or you sell. So I went through my entire closet. I have an entire bag in my other hallway here, which is like literally like 3 or 4 of me, full of just clothes that I do not wear anymore, and I'm planning on donating all those clothes to the hospital drive down the road from my house. So that's a healthy habit that I'm trying to also incorporate, is minimizing all of the things in my life, in my house, in my room that I no longer need, that someone else could be using, that I am just not. So that's the first thing. That's the second thing. So the third thing and final thing is I want to talk about social codes. And when I mean social codes, I mean things that, some people think are ethically or morally or socially acceptable or unacceptable. Those of which, oh, my light went off, whatever. So those of which being stuff like treating your friends badly, or doing something with somebody else's significant other or whatever. I just wanted to say personally that lately in my life, there have been recent events that have kind of made me think about that, and made me think about how I'm influenced by other people's actions, and how my behavior is also like a reaction of other people's behavior. And I just wanted to say that at least from my point of view, when stuff like that happens, you kind of don't really notice it in other people's situations. You feel bad, or you don't feel bad, or you just feel sympathetic. But it's one thing to be on one side and consider one person's point of view, but it's a completely different thing to be experiencing another person's point of view. And I just want to say that just because I know that some people in my life and in other people's lives across the world feel that same way that I do, and that other people do as well. And I don't know, it's hard to really describe how someone else feels, but sometimes, you have to put yourself in someone else's position, and rather than, berating that idea to somebody else that they should basically feel what other person's feeling, maybe they should also do the same thing, because trust and relationships between people typically go two ways. So in order for someone else to feel the same way you feel, you need to also feel the same way they feel. So in that way, I just wanted to say that their social codes are put into place for a reason, and ethical codes and moral codes are kind of ingrained in our society. For good instances like How I Met Your Mother, Barney Stinson has the bro code, and I don't know, it's kind of one of those things where you have to choose whether you're going to live by it or not, and when you do live by it, at that point you kind of have this reputation that you are upholding the law of sorts, and when you betray that law, it puts you in a bad light. And regardless of if you want to or do look like bad in that light, if you're going to commit to a certain code, then you should probably go through with that, rather than doubling back on yourself and basically writing yourself off, or excusing yourself, or giving yourself a pass. So the word of basically mouth, or my advice to my viewers here who are actually watching: if you're gonna have a code, stick to it and uphold it, and teach others that code, because people need to learn, people need to have responsibility, and have moral and ethical responsibility. And it's healthy because we don't make mistakes, and we don't hurt others, like we don't have interracial sort of tension and war and conflict. So in order for there to be peace, or in order for there to be some sort of like connection or liaison between people and how they feel, you should probably uphold ethical and moral standards. So that's my message. If you guys like this video, leave or hit the like button down below. If you dislike this video, there's a button for that. And if you really like how I talk, and how I never cut any of my videos anymore and never edit them, which may or may not be a good thing for some people, then please subscribe, or don't subscribe, but I would really appreciate it if you did. Anyways guys, thank you guys for watching and putting up with my ugly face. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.